Hello, everybody. Welcome to Tea Time with Liz. Come on in. Come on in. I'm going to go ahead and share here on my page. Come on in. Happy Monday, everybody. Happy Monday. I am so excited for tonight. You definitely want to share this one tonight, okay? Definitely want to share this one. So I'm all excited. Let me get this on my page real quick. I hope everyone is having an amazing Monday. Um, it's another week, another good week at that. Um, but God is faithful, right? So here we go. Um, as you all know, we usually do our tea time announcements, so I'm gonna do those real quick and then bring my guest in. I'm so excited to have. I'm gonna call my little sisters, my unbreakable little sisters. We we really didn't really meet at the conference, but we met through the group, the family, the tribe. So, but I love them, and you guys are gonna love them too. So, um, let me get the shares and let me stop talking. Okay, hang on. All right. Anyway, like I said, let me know that you can hear me so that we are good on the tech area. We are live on Periscope. We are live on Facebook Live, and we are on YouTube. So I'm thinking at the beginning of next year, all replays are going to be on YouTube. So be sure to go to the YouTube page and subscribe to Tea Time with Liz, TTWL. That's my new hashtag. As you see, I got my new label out here, my new launch of my logo. There we go. And we will be having some merch coming out here soon, which I'm so excited about. So, let me do my announcements just so I can bring my guest in. All right. So next week we have tea time with Miss Kawana Ragland, who is an author of the book called Chosen, or God Chose Me. She will be my guest next week. Her book is amazing. God has used her to write an amazing book on gifts and how God will speak to you and prepare you for your future. So you don't want to miss that. I will share her book link, but you can find it on Amazon for sure. But yes, you definitely want to, if you can, try to read it before next week. But it is called God Chose Me by Kawana Ragland. All right. And then the following week, I have another author. She's like a mom to me. She was one of the moms that took me in when I moved to Minnesota, straight out of high school. Going to college, and I love her so much. But she has wrote 2 books, and y'all, they juicy. Okay, these are not informal. These are not your natural wisdom churchy books, but these are some like good, healthy, fantasy type of books. So. Her name is Audrey Brown. She has wrote 2 novels. I read this one in one night, like literally took me just a couple hours. It was that juicy. Once you get in, you got to finish it, right? So this one is called Double Cross, Payback is a Bee. And then this one is called Revenge is Bittersweet. So you can also purchase her books off of Amazon, I believe, and I will be sharing her link. She will be coming the last week of November. Let's see. I think that's it. That's all for November. So let me bring my guest in. I'm so excited, you guys. I have my little sister Jaquetta Wright. So we have Miss Lisa Raimo, and we are missing one tonight, unfortunately. Shout out to Cece out there. She could not sleep. Could not join us tonight. Some things came up, but she will be on eventually. So y'all stay tuned for her. But I am just happy to have you two. Hello, ladies.
Hi.
Tell the people hi. Tell the people hi. So, like I said, we are going to have an amazing conversation tonight. For some reason, my comments, I don't see any comments, but let us know if you can hear us. Like I said, I just need to know if we got comments out there. So in case we have questions, y'all can ask questions. You can definitely, make your comments tonight. So I'm going to let the ladies introduce themselves. We'll start with Jaquetta. Go ahead and let the people know who you are, ma'am.
Okay, my name is Jaquetta Wright. I'm 25. I'm from New Jersey. Um, I don't do well with tell me about yourself questions. So, is there anything specific that you would like to know?
Okay, how old are you? What do you do?
Okay, cool.
Just
I
some
could, I
fun
could work. Okay, cool. I can work with that. Okay, so as I said, my name is Jaquetta. I am 25. I am from New Jersey. I am a FedEx worker. Shout out to all of you who are ordering packages because y'all are keeping us very, very busy. Um, so praise God. Yes. One fun fact about me. Um, Most people don't know. I want to be a professional photographer.
Okay then.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Anytime you need a model, let me know. Okay.
Yeah, of course.
All right. Well, all right. It's on you, Miss Lisa. Go ahead and let the people know who you are.
Hey everyone, so I am Lisa Raimo. I am 22 years old. I'm born and raised New Yorker. Um, I'm a lot of things to a lot of people. I'm not gonna go down the list. But I'm a psalmist, recent graduate of the University of Hartford, class of 2020. Future music therapist. So stay tuned for that fun journey.
Yes.
Shout out to Total Life Changes.
Okay.
Paying my student loans. Just saying.
Come on.
Yeah.
We all are a part of Life Changers. My shipment's coming tomorrow, guys.
Come on.
Shout out to TLC Products. We all are just what do we call ourselves? Distributors. There we go. We all are distributors. We all got links. So if you follow any of us, you can hit our link tree. You can hit our bios and get you some total life changing products. We all swear by them. Like I said, all those other products out there, trash. These products. Sorry, not sorry. Products are real and they are definitely worth every penny. And the amazing thing is that you can become a distributor yourself. So let me know, let the ladies know if you have any questions. I know I use the resolution drops. I forget to eat some days. And then it's that good. It cures your appetite for those who are trying to lose weight, trying to get those core pounds off.
Come on.
Obviously, they held up. Go ahead, ladies, and hold up that tea again. That detox tea is.
And we have the NutriBurst.
The NutriBurst. I haven't tried yet. You have to tell the people about that. It's like
get the NutriBurst. It'll change your life.
It's a life changer. It's like vitamins in the liquid format. And then I see Lisa's got the coffee. I still yet got to try that too.
Yeah.
It's all natural products. So if you have any health conditions, these products are good for you. So you don't have to worry about what's in it, how did it become what it is. It's real. All right.
Come on.
So, shout out to TLC. That is our commercial tonight. And shout out to my mentor, their auntie, Miss Marquita D. Collins. We love you. We want to definitely shout you out. So anyway, let's get into business tonight, ladies. So as you all know, the topic tonight is the stereotype of being pursued. So the reason why I wanted to talk about this here on Tea Time is the reason why I feel like the Lord even put you all in my heart. You all share or show yourselves to be amazing young ladies of God. And I know you're being pursued or on the verge of being pursued. We don't, we'll let the people decide on that, or I'll let you all share what you want to share anyway. But you are definitely women of God, and so we need to hear from more women of God who are in this channel of life, because there was a post as well, in which I'm going to share with everybody. Hopefully y'all will be able to see that. So this post was circling social media. And it said, Jacqueline Carr and Kiara Sheard both got them some tatted and hood men. God, if my man is not in the church, just say that. And the way I heard about this was one of my friends texted me it, and we was cracking up because we're both in this wives in waiting situation.
Mm-hmm.
And we've been in it for a good minute, and so we took it more or less as a joke, but it started to stir up some controversy in the Christian community, right? And so and I know these ladies definitely got to hear about it, read about it, and so who wants to start? What did you think when you heard about the post?
Sis, you
Go ahead, Lisa.
okay. So when I first heard about this, of course, there was a lot of controversy because of it. But for me personally, I have learned not to get so stuck on if he's in the church, because to be honest, I don't necessarily want to find my husband behind a pulpit.
Okay.
Y'all can say whatever y'all want in the comments about that, but
we'll definitely get into that part tonight.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. But
table that.
As for me, when I saw that, as long as my husband is a man of God and he can cover me the way I need to be covered, I don't care if you have tattoos. I don't care where you used to be. I don't care about any of that.
Mm-hmm.
And so that comment, because Kiara Sheard especially got a lot of backlash, and people had a lot to say about who her husband is.
Mm-hmm.
And this is who you are, this is the family that you come from, and you have to carry a certain image.
Mm-hmm.
But we get so stuck on images and how things look and how other people perceive us,
right,
that we don't pay attention to, and we lose sight of what God has for us.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
so we take what we see, because we're not supposed to walk by sight.
Oh, is that the word? I mean, okay.
I'm feeling my help. So
okay,
we're help now.
Okay,
we're not supposed to walk by sight, but we're so focused on what we see, and because of that, we'll miss God.
Mm-hmm.
We'll miss who God has for us, because, and I know everybody grew up on this phrase, don't judge a book by its cover.
Yes, most definitely.
Don't. Because sometimes we'll see somebody and immediately stereotypes, immediately, social commonalities and political correctness and all of that comes into play immediately. And
I think that is why we are having this controversy within this, I'm going to say, the Christian community, because we have done exactly what you said. We have a stereotype. But go ahead, Jaquetta. You share with us what you thought about the post.
And my thoughts of the post, I believe that for one, as Christians, because we're saved, so we can only come from um, how we feel as Christians. Can't speak for the world. As a Christian, I have tattoos, a lot of them, a couple of them, not a lot. I have tattoos. Does that mean that I'm any less saved and I'm in the church? So for me, sometimes, just to be honest, and this is what I've personally seen when it comes to men, there are worldly men who are more wiser, have more knowledge.
Mhm.
The way that they approach you is not in a hood type of way, because that's what it say, if my husband, if that's what he is, if he's not in the church, and just say that. I've had them be, more gentle than men in the church.
Hmm.
I've had, men in the church talk more about sex than a man in the world. So, it's like, if that's who he is, I'm cool with that. Because you're a lot more gentle than the brothers that sit in the front and
Ew.
behind the pulpit, versus the one who chills on his front porch. So for me, I'm
Right.
cool with that. You don't have to be, and just as Lisa said, we get so hyped on, we're judging. We become so judgmental. But it's like, even with Kiara shared, you really don't know the background of who her husband is. And I believe to them, he doesn't look like money. But what exactly does money look like? Like, you don't know his
Oh,
character.
that's
You don't
good.
know how he treats her. And she's dealt with, if you ever watch their show, um, I believe it was like Catching the Shears or something like that. A guy that she was dating, he was a pastor. He was in the church.
Hmm.
She called off the engagement.
Yeah.
So now
Yeah.
she's, yes, he was a pastor. Now she's engaged to somebody who, in everybody's mind, oh, he's hood, oh, he's this, oh, he's that, because he has tattoos and he's not, going to Home Depot in a suit. He's not the one for her.
That's not always true. And like I said, so that proves that we as well, I should say some in the church community, Christian community, have narrowed their mind to that stereotype. And
Yeah.
like you said, who are we to say who is supposed to be with somebody and who's not? And what I love about this whole post situation is um, which you guys are amazing women influencers, young women influencers, whether it's TLC or even your own ministries. So I sidebar, guys, follow these young ladies. They are doing amazing work for the Lord. They often have conferences, webinars to encourage you in your walk with God. I have been a part of a couple of them, and I promise you, you are not going to be disappointed. Everything is always worth it. Like I said, what I found amazing about this post was that these are two women who are influencers in God's kingdom. Okay, they're both singers, Jaquetta Carr and Kiara Sheard, and so. For them not to, like you said, Kiki was engaged to a pastor, but that didn't work out. And that's exactly what sometimes people will push you wherever you are in the church. I have been in that place before
Mhm.
where people will push you with certain people or try to hook you up with certain people because of who you are or what the calling is on your life. But
Yeah.
it raises great question in which I want to ask you guys is, are we seeking for a stereotype, or are we seeking more or less for purpose, or are we purpose driven? Are we seeking God, or are we seeking a stereotype and what people are thinking? What do you think it is?
I can say for a long time, I believe that I was seeking the stereotype. because I think we get sometimes caught up in, I don't necessarily have a type. So sometimes I feel like if you don't have a type, if you don't really know what you're looking for, and it's just like, hey, I'm open to anything, you attract anything. And you really never know what that is. And a lot of times, we end up in unfortunate situations because, we don't have the boundaries. We have not seeked God on, the relationship that He would have for us. So um a lot of, because even, like men in the church, there's some hood men in the church, but it's like, I believe when you get to the point where you're able to, you have to know who you are.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that's the biggest thing, as I said, how's his character? How's his heart? We're so caught up on, is he dark skinned? Is he chocolate? Is he light skinned? Is he this? Is he that? But it's like, not even trying to be funny, but like, how's your credit? Are you living in your mother's basement? It's no judgment, but
Yeah.
let me meet you where you are. And a lot of times we don't do that. We don't meet people where they are. We want them to be, so much further. But it's like, I'm 25. Um, I've dated men who are older than me who don't have it all together. And then there's men my age who have more than, that one. So it's like, for a long time, that's how I was. And it really wasn't purpose driven. And then if you're not seeking God, then it's really like, you're confused and you're lost, and you end up with so many different men who, don't even respect who you are as a woman of God.
Right.
They don't respect your purpose and where you're going. And I believe one of the best examples to use um, are my godparents, which are, everyone pretty much knows that, the prophets, Marquita and Sean. I believe that they are the best example to use, because with my godfather, he literally respects who she is as a woman of God. And, she's soft with her husband. She loves her husband beyond social media, and he loves his wife beyond social media. And it's like, they really, there's harmony between them two. And I believe a lot of times, we get with men who really don't know us just as well as we don't know them. And we get so caught up, and then, God begins to use us, and this is who we are, and they don't have an understanding of it. And it's like, now they're coming up against everything that we're trying to do. Like, we have to be equally yoked. And I believe that's one of the biggest things. And the Bible talks about that, to be equally yoked in friendships, relationships, all of it. And a lot of times we don't get with people that we are equally yoked with.
Right.
No,
And
that I just, before you answer, Lisa, because I know you're gonna have a whole lot of wisdom. But I just, first of all, I want us to, even as women, here, young women, because I'm young, okay, is that we are the ones being pursued. So of course, as we are talking, we're not saying we out here in men's DMs. We are not out here, shouting and hollering out at men. Okay, we are the ones pursued. Okay, so we do know that. Secondly, the big thing that you point or said that stood out, Jay, was that you not knowing yourself. You have to know yourself spiritually and naturally, because when you don't know yourself spiritually and naturally, like you said, you will end up with somebody that you have no business being with. And yes, we may look at it in a physical sense and say, okay, this person looks good with me, this all works naturally. But spiritually, you may have two separate callings, to where if when it comes to that, one's going to have to put one down over the other, and that could bring conflict in the home. And like you said, that's not bringing equal yokes at all. We should be complementary to one another. We should complete, are not necessarily complete, but complement. That's not, and that's the reason why we should not complete each other. If somebody is completing you, you got issues. And so, like I said, you raised a great point is that you definitely have to know your purpose in God, because even for him, he's got to know where he's leading his family. Where's God taking him? What is God calling him to do? So that once again, not conflicting with the woman's purpose as well. But all right, Miss Lisa, it's all yours. What you think?
Okay, so I'm about to tell all on myself. So for a long time, I said I didn't have a type, but subconsciously, I had a type. And it was a specific type of person. It was, this is what he has to have. He has to be able to do X, Y, Z. He has to be, a singer or this or that. And I limited myself without even knowing it. And Jaquetta's a witness to this. And I was mad when this first happened, but God began to reveal my husband or my type to me and to prophets around me.
Wow.
And it was a little hard for me to break that mindset of this is who I'm looking for. This is the type of person. This is what I want. This is, and I did that so subconsciously. But as God started to reveal him to me, I said, hold on, wait. And I started to realize that, I was chasing people in leadership.
Wow.
I wanted somebody who looked apart.
Wow.
But I started to realize, as I asked God to open my eyes to that and I started praying for my husband, some of these leaders are meaner, nastier, filthier inside and out than people who didn't necessarily grow up in church or all of that. And I know more people who have had issues with people in leadership, who have had more issues with pastors and bishops and this, that, and the third, because they sought who they wanted. They sought out who they thought looked better on paper.
Come on.
But they didn't seek out, God, who do you have for me? They never consulted God before they said I did.
Wow.
Because I know somebody who just went through this, where they were in a relationship with somebody and they looked better on paper than they did when you saw them together. They looked better on paper than their relationship in private.
Wow.
And Jaquetta, as you were talking, God revealed this to me because I know somebody on here needs to hear this. Ladies, sisters, women of God, if you are in a relationship with a man, a year, 2 years go by, and you're getting impatient for him to pop the question, please, for the love of all things holy, just because you want to be in a relationship with this person, do not get down on one knee. Please. Because he knows if he's right. He knows if he wants to marry you and spend the rest of his life with you. I have talked to so many men, so many men of God, across the board. They say that within about a year and a half, 6 months to a year and a half, they know. But they're not in a place to say, I can support you naturally, spiritually, all of that.
Right.
And maybe God said, you know, your training ground for that. To get back on their feet. And you're not meant to spend the rest of your life with that.
Wow, that's good.
So because he that findeth a wife,
well,
he has to find you. He has to ask a question because he's going to be the head of you, not the other way around.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Most definitely.
So when you make that decision for him, you're switching the order that God set in place.
That's good. That is so good.
So churched, unchurched, in the church, out of the church, whatever he is, he'll know whether you're it.
Yes, that's good.
So don't get so stuck on, well, we've been in a relationship, I'm tired of waiting, so I'm going to make the move.
Come on.
That's not how that works.
Right.
Go back and read the Bible, because you clearly have not studied enough. And if somebody can drop it in the comments what scripture that is, because it's imperative to remember that. You're his favor. You're his good thing.
Yeah.
So you begin to diminish him, emasculate him, because you're saying he can't make the call for himself.
Wow. Wow.
So when you get stuck on, this is the type of person that I want, okay, we have a lot that we want, but is he what you need? You know, and I think Liz said it before, that you need to know your purpose.
Definitely.
You need to know who you are in God, because if you don't know who you are in God, you won't know what you need.
It's so true. And you also raise a great point, though, as women, you know, because I'm sure there's mostly women, but shout out to all the men out there if you are listening. But as women, we have to know what it means to be a wife, you know, and this is the time where you prepare for that. You know, it's a good thing to read and understand Proverbs 31. She was already a wife. She already knew how to handle herself and handle business and how to do for herself. You know, we talked about it a lot here just recently in this conversation is, you know, a lot of times when we are stereotyping or looking to be found, we're looking for a man to have money, because why? Of course, yes, he's supposed to provide, but what if you are to build that together, like you said? What if you're, you know, this is the time where you all get to just know each other for who you are, and through that relationship, you help him, because that is what a wife is. A wife is a helpmate. And I heard a message. It was called "It's a Blessing to Be Single," and he broke down, like, you know, everything about being single, but he started breaking down what it meant to be a wife and a husband. And he really hit home on that part of, we're supposed to help our husbands. So whatever his assignment is, how can I help you? You know, and so it's a selfless thing when it comes to marriage. If you're selfish right now, you want things done a certain way, if you got to have this, if you got to have that, you're not ready. You gotta be able to compromise. You gotta be able to take back. You gotta be able to submit to the vision of the family, not to man. A lot of people get mixed up and say, "Well, I ain't bowing down to nobody." Well, yes, you don't have to bow down to nobody but God. Okay, but you do have to submit to the vision of your home, and whatever your leader of your home says, that's what you follow. You may disagree, but you have to disagree to agree. You have to compromise. You have to once again be a helpmate. And we as women, this is the time where we learn that. This is the time where we even learn our purpose. We have to be women of influence like these women are. They didn't stop doing what they were supposed to do for God. And I think that's another thing we do. We forget our purpose in God. We forget to continue to do what we're called to do when that person finds us. We start backing and so forth. But I mean, I understand your home comes first, that all comes first, but still, if God called you to do something, he called you to do something with or without a husband. And I think that in itself too is hard as women. So and I ask you all this question of young ladies of influence, being out here in the forefront. Is it hard to be found, do you think there's a target on you? What's your feeling?
Um, Sometimes I do believe there is like a little bit of a target. And I say that because churchmen or unchurched, I believe that sometimes in people's minds, because we're saved, it means that we're pushovers.
Mm.
Um, it makes people feel, I'm going to say men because we're talking about men. It makes men feel as if they can speak to us any type of way.
Oh,
Um, and, they can say what they want and, you know, we're saved. So it's like, you're not going to curse me out because you saved. You're not going to put your hands on me because you're saved. And, sometimes, to be honest, sometimes the hood could come out and it's like, I
okay.
haven't been saved my whole life.
Hello.
Talk about
I've
it.
not been saved my whole life. And it's like, I'm not going to allow you to speak to me any type of way. And it took me a minute to get to that way because I did, just like people in general. Like, I allowed them to say what they wanted to say, do what they wanted to do. And when God really changed that around, a lot of people couldn't handle it because it's like, hey, I don't know this Jaquetta. I'm not used to this Jaquetta. Like, oh, you're speaking up for yourself now. Oh, you're doing this now. And it's like, kind of slow down a little bit.
Right.
But it's true though, and sometimes you really do have to teach people how to teach you. And even with men, I've had to shut down so many conversations that in the past, I probably, kind of just let pass. You entertain certain things a little bit. But then I got to the point where it's like, this is making me uncomfortable. And, we just went from talking about food to sex. I'm confused. We're not doing this. And it's like a lot of times they don't understand that because, it's like, you're just talking, you're going to change your mind. I'm not like, I'm not. And I had to actually tell a guy this. And I think it shocked him because he wasn't expecting me to say it. He continued to have sex. I said, he continued to talk about sex. And I said, let me explain something to you. I said, and Dominique is a witness because I sent her the screenshot. I said, if this is going to continuously be a conversation, I can no longer speak to you. It's making me uncomfortable. I don't appreciate it. And I'm not going to tell you every other day that this is not a conversation that I want to have. It's going to push me away, and that's just going to be that. And I'm just going to have to cut all ties because there's other things to talk about. And I said, I don't know if in your mind you believe that by you continuously asking me that I'm going to change my mind. Because I'm not. My mind is made up. My answer is no, and that's just that.
Wow.
And he was just like, wow, okay, I respect your decision. I bet you do. You don't have a choice because if you didn't, God bless you. That's it. Because I'm not going to continue to have this conversation with you over and over and over and over again. Because at this point, I've set boundaries and you're not respecting them.
Yes.
So if you that means that you don't know how to respect me, and I'm
Right.
cool.
Mm.
Right.
We can't be friends. If we see each other, maybe high and by, but outside of that, it's like I want no parts. If you're not able to respect who I am as a woman, and
Mm.
you continuously asking, at this point, I'm not easily manipulative. Like you can't manipulate me into because I believe that's what you thought. Like, I'm gonna keep asking and I'm asking a different way. In a different way. Like, hey, I'm not stupid.
All
Just in
right.
case you didn't know, just in case you needed a reminder. I'm
Hey, yes.
not dumb.
But
So
Jaquetta, what I have to say is that I'm very proud of you, and I hope women or young ladies out here can see that, it takes a lot, but you have to stand to your boundaries. You have to stand for your value. You have to treasure what God has given you, and that's you. There is only one of you. There's only one man for you, and not every man's going to get a piece or taste the sample. We are not, little snacks at the grocery store. Okay, so
this is not Burger King. You cannot have it your way.
you can't.
You
And so,
can't.
like I said, I commend you for standing your ground and setting those boundaries. And so, what do you have to say to young ladies or even women who have that trouble setting that boundary? Because sometimes it gets lonely, and you just want a friend to talk to. So, what would you
Um,
say?
I would say stand your ground, learn who you are, begin to treasure yourself, begin to love yourself, begin to like yourself, begin to value who you are, and remember that you are the gift and you are the prize. When you don't know that, you allow men to walk over you. And a lot of times they seek out women who are vulnerable because it's almost like an animal, like they can smell it, like how people can say, I smell fear. They can smell your insecurities. They can smell, they can tell that you don't like who you are, you don't love who you are. They can tell that you're very insecure about yourself, and they
Mhm.
pray on that. You want a man to pray for you, not pray on you. And that's sometimes, hard because it's like, I like the attention. And for me, that was a long time. I'm like, I like the attention. This is fun. This is nice. But then it got to the point where it was like, I really realized that, even though you're telling me you love me, I'm big on, love is an action word. So you have to show me. You can tell me all day and it's cute, it's nice. But if you're not showing me that, then I can't get with that. And the only way that you can really come into that um, is when you really do start to see that you're more than a piece of meat. Like I had to tell people that, like, I'm more than that. And what I had to learn about me as well, I'm a wife. I'm not a girlfriend.
Come
So
on.
who I deal with, I end up giving the wife in me away, and I can't help it. So it's easy, for people to date. They can date all these men. It doesn't matter, playing this one. Monday I'm going out with this one. Wednesday I'm going out with that one. I can't do that, and it's
Right.
not even so much of oh, you're courting your feelings. You catch feelings too fast, but it's like no, I give the wife in me away.
Mm.
Now I'm supporting your dreams. I'm cooking for you. I want to bring lunch to your job, and I want to do this and I want to do that. That's something that a wife does. I'm praying for, you, and that's fine. We should pray for everyone. We should, but it's on a different level. It's reached a different type of prayer life to have for your husband. So it's like, wait, I gotta remove myself, or I have to back up because you're getting parts of me that you don't deserve.
Well,
Wow.
Because I'm giving the wife of me away, but you're barely giving the boyfriend of you away. We can't do that.
well,
So don't give the wife and you away. Now
right.
everyone, is not, necessarily a wife. And you have to be able to check yourself there and see, because some people don't want to be married. it's not everyone's desire to be married. It's not everyone's desire to have children. That's not everyone's desire. But I know for me, it is my desire. And a lot of times we get caught up on potential. Like, and it's nothing completely wrong with that, because sometimes you do have to see potential in people, because sometimes that's the thing that really keeps you around. But it's like, what more can you give me other than potential? We can't have a marriage based off potential. We can't have a relationship based off potential. What else? What else do we have to offer each other? And I had to tell her that. I said, listen, I know what I bring to the table as a friend, as a sister, as a wife, and as a girlfriend. I don't properly know how to walk in that. Just that's not really my lane. I know how to be a wife. So I know what I bring to the table is that. But if you're not doing the same, what are we doing?
That's good. That's good. Wow. I hope y'all caught all that wisdom. I want to watch the replay. This is.
I mean, go back, take notes on that one.
You definitely. If you haven't shared, please share. please share by now. All right, Lisa, it's your turn. Do you feel like there's a target on your back? I mean, what's the wisdom you got to share?
So there are days where I feel like I have a bullseye right here. And it's funny because I've caught both ends of the spectrum, where men will see me, and I've heard from other people. There are guys I used to go to church with, guys I used to minister with, who don't want to necessarily approach me as, in that way, because they feel like, oh, she good, she has a calling on her life, and they just know, like, oh, I feel like I can't necessarily approach her because she's one of those strong, independent, I don't need a man.
Wow.
Because I'm anointed, because I'm growing confident in myself, because I'm not sliding into people's DMs. People feel like, oh, she's too confident in who she is.
Wow.
So I'm not going to approach her. And I want all of my anointed people who know they have a calling on your life, open your ear, pull on your good ear. Because I'm gonna say this on the opposite end of the spectrum of yet the same side of what Jaquetta said. There are some men who will come after you and want to date you, court you, be in a relationship with you because of what's on your life. And I'm going to say this, you are more than the anointing on your life. You are more than the oil on your life. And I've had people try and push me into a relationship because they know what's on my life.
Right.
They know I'm an intercessor. They know I'm a psalmist. They know I'm this. They know I'm that. They know I hear God.
Wow.
And so they want to pull on that and pull on that. And I'm going to say this. When you are truly getting to know someone and dating them, dating is all about collecting information. Find somebody who loves all of you.
Yes.
Because you are more than your anointing. You are more than who God called you to be.
Yes.
You are Jaquetta. You are Liz. You are Dominique. You are Rhoda. You are a human. Find somebody who loves you
for you
past the mantle on your life.
Yes.
Someone who you can just chill with, and you don't have to be the prophet.
Come on.
You don't have to be the intercessor.
Yes.
Because there are some people, and kind of going back to what we were talking about earlier, sometimes you're not assigned to what's on his life either.
That's so
it's beyond if he can cover you. Can you stand in the gap for him?
Come on.
Yes.
But you don't want somebody who, babe, can you pray for me? Babe, what's the Lord saying? If God has something to say, I'm going to tell you.
Right.
But I don't want it to be constant where I'm
constantly speaking for God to him. Yeah.
Exactly. I don't want to be on my face 24/7.
Right.
I want to be God for you.
Yeah, and that's
God
for you. Be very careful that somebody does not idolize you.
Exactly.
And you don't want to be somebody's God. That's dangerous. That's dangerous.
That's dangerous.
And I'm about to go wrong on y'all, and I'm sorry for all my big sisters, my aunties, all y'all watching. I'm about to be grown for a second.
Oh, here we go.
I want to have a marital ministry.
Okay.
I want to have
sex. Say quality sex.
There you go.
we just gonna say it.
You're welcome.
I want to Netflix and chill with my husband.
Right.
I don't want to wear the I'm a prophet hat. I don't want to wear intercession all of the time. Oh, I just got out. Lord help me. I want to have sex with my husband. I want to, be intimate and, just relax with you. I want to go out and laugh.
Yes. Mm-hmm. You want to be human. That's what we are here for.
Exactly.
Dr. Faith shared something a while back I listened to, is that when she was dating her husband, she said that she she was a very powerful, influential woman, preaching and doing everything. And he basically told her, like, he doesn't care about that, because she asked him, like, what do you think about all this? He's like, I don't care about that, because I'm not going home to the evangelist. I'm not going home to, I'm going to pursue who you are inside. And so I think that is definitely something, even us as women of influencers, who are out here in the forefront, who God has called for a great purpose, that you have to be mindful of that people, that you're not showboating it either, that you're not saying, well, I am, because,
right.
when you see the whole resume, I'm an author, I'm a model, I have, tea time with Liz, I'm just everything, like, no, that's not, I mean, it's cute, but it's not cute, like that. Exactly. I don't want somebody to want me, because those things could go away tomorrow. Sometimes when you're in the forefront, that could be only for a season. So I need somebody that's going to be with me, thick and thin, when it's here and when it's not here. And I'm a whole different person, whether I'm on tea time or, preaching a message, I do what the Lord does, and he uses me for his glory. But behind closed doors, I play video games, I watch sports, I laugh, I joke, I have fun, it's a whole different type of person. And so like you said, you got to know the whole you, and you have to be honest with the whole you. And so it definitely goes back to saying that, like, you got to know who you are. And so in this last 6 minutes, ladies, is there anything else you want to share with the viewers about, just stereotypes in being pursued? Audience, do you guys have any questions for the panelists tonight that you want some wisdom on, even as well? Thank you all so much for sharing your wisdom. Thank you all for tuning in and commenting. Shout out to Dom and to Rhoda, and I think I see Miss Sasha out here. There's just so many of you all. Thank you all so much for like I said, hanging out with us tonight. But this is definitely probably going to have to be a part 2, because there was another part of this question that I wanted to get to, and I don't want to say it in this last 5 minutes. We will be here for a whole nother hour.
Oh.
But if you missed it, go ahead and watch the replay. You definitely want to watch the replay. And to be honest, this was like I said, this was no shade to men at all. You know, there are some great men of God out there. You know, there are just some who are not on that level yet, and they try it and we see it. But we, like I said, have to take a self-check. And I think that's the biggest thing out of this whole stereotype. Because when I looked up the definition of stereotype, it said that it's a widely held but fixed and oversimplified image or idea of a particular type of person or thing. And so basically, to me, you're classifying and putting somebody in a box. And so like both of you ladies said, you know, just because I'm this way doesn't mean I have to be with this type of person or with this type of group, you know, because I feel like I have a target on my back sometimes. I'm a PK, my father's a bishop, and then like I said, I'm out here doing all this. You know, there's a lot of people who are like, well, she'll be a great first lady. Well, she might, you know, do this, do that. Like, no. Do you have any idea what?
Did you hear the word on that?
And exactly, did you run that by God? Because if you know the God I know, He gonna tell you. She ain't none of that.
That's not her lane.
That is, I mean, to be honest, the only thing I'm doing is if the Lord say do it. So that's all I'm saying. So, but nevertheless, you know, we have to be careful that we are not stereotyping. I think somebody, a comment like way at the beginning, someone said that's why people don't come to churches, because we're so judgmental. And it's sad that the judgment comes even when it comes to bringing marriages together and people together, that we allow that judgment, the religious judgment, to come in and influence us in being pursued, or so are you pursuing someone, you know, because there are, like I said, there are guys out here who are pursuing young women or women of age. So we have to be very mindful that it's a relationship with God type of situation, that God is speaking, that is not being pushed. Like you said, it's not what looks good on paper, if we take a good selfie or not. You know, it's not about that. It's about what does God want, because God, we have to answer to God in Judgment Day. You know, we were one. So what did you do? Did you submit? Did you cover? Did you pray? Did you know, all of that? It's work. You know, when you I've been married before and divorced, but the lesson I learned is that it's work. You have to be very selfless, and you got to put in work. All what you want, it don't matter anymore. You got to help somebody else. And like I said, as women, we have to be the helpmate. So like I said, there is one question. Sorry, my bad. Let me stop talking. All right, Miss Rhoda Love says, what are some qualities Lisa and Jaquetta look for in their future husbands? She put y'all on the spot. Ladies, what would you like to answer that?
So it's funny because, and Jaquetta, I think you're in this group as well. There are a few of us who have gotten together to pray for our future spouses. And we were on a challenge recently, and day one was, what are 10 things you want in your husband? And, you know, praying over those things. And I really went before God, and some of the things on that list was, does he know and hear God to where he can cover me? You don't have to be a prophet, an apostle, a pastor. You don't have to have a title in front of your name to be able to cover me. You know, are you somebody who can, because I come from a family who is not saved. So can you love and cover my family? Because right now I'm standing in the gap for my family.
Wow.
So can you love me past what's going on in my family right now? You know, are our desires for our future similar? Are we equally yoked? You know, I don't want materialistic things. Now I said, God, if he's good looking, you know, that's
you are trying to do your trying to get it. I get it.
I will fight you on that one. But you know, I know God will give me the desires of my heart according to his will, according to his word.
Amen. He definitely will.
As long as he's someone who loves God, bottom line, if you love God and you put God first and you love me, and I mean all of me, I don't care about Christ.
She said we're good out here. All right. All right, Jaquetta.
I would say my qualities of what I look for in a husband. Number one, definitely someone who has a relationship with God. Someone who already knows how to be, or what it takes to be a husband and a father. Someone who is honestly patient, you know, because sometimes I lack patience. Sometimes I can be, you know, a little snappy, you know. Sometimes you just need someone who understands that, and who's able to be patient with you, because I do believe that teaches you patience. Someone I would love to be with someone who's like family oriented, who, you know, has a good relationship with his family. I'm not saying, you know, oh yeah, I talk every day and, you know, yeah, I share everything. But yes, and just someone who's understanding. That's why I look for.
Well, all right. Well, there you go. Have it. There y'all have it. So if y'all know any, no, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
I mean,
matchmaking with Liz.
I'm just saying, if y'all know anybody, you know, just
feel free to drop an application.
Tag them in the tea time. Tag them in the tea. Well, you all, thank you all so much for your wisdom tonight. Thank you all, like I said, for rocking with us. I hope you all enjoyed. Like I said, we'll definitely have to do part 2, and then we'll get Cece in here because there was a whole nother question that, like I said, I'll save for part 2. But I hope you all enjoyed this tonight as much as I did. And we will hope to see you all next week for Tea Time with Liz. So you all have a blessed night. Have a good night, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.